I mean, there's so many ways to describe a person. I mean, a person would describe a person the way they see the person. I mean, I would say you're a stubborn guy, headstrong, ambitious, a guy with a vision, a guy who not only talks, but a guy who acts and does. How would you describe yourself? Luxolo September. Uzibona into njani yena when he looks in the mirror, when he thinks, when he introspects?
I think it helps that I don't belong to any particular group, or I don't put myself in any box. I don't fit in. I'm curious. Born in a village. Passionate about changing things. Absolutely passionate about it. I'm not humble, so those people who keep on saying I'm humble must stop saying that.
Who are these people?
It irritates me.
It's the furthest thing from being humble.
You're right.
See?
I am just single-minded about this calling that I have. I have been so lucky when I did it because I found my purpose in my life and I'm married to it. The purpose that I have, not for myself. It's for the African people. And I hope that one day inspires the world, not through my actions, not through my bank balance. And we will get there. Maybe not with me alone, not with me there, but we'll get there.
Let's talk the business of your journey in the working environment.
Sure.
First met you, you were a young student, journalist.
Yeah, got fired.
Very driven. Because you're stubborn. That's probably why you got fired.
Got fired, bruh.
Tell us about that incident. What happened at Daily Dispatch?
First of all, I mean, I was employed there when I was doing my first year, you know. So I'd been there for 3 years. I think it's the kind of person I am. I can't stand injustice, and I know how to stand up for something. And I don't mean to speak bad about the dispatch or whatever, but there were a lot of things that were happening I didn't like. They had nothing to do with me, these things. But I was like 21, 22, and there were things happening around me, and I didn't like them. And when I was about to turn 23, I think, there was a big fallout with me and the senior people. And I was given an option, though, to be fair. Apologize or get fired. And I felt this thing was so important as a principle. And I knew that if I apologize, I'm going to be... So they asked me to go and write an email and apologize.
These are your bosses now?
Yes, my bosses called me in a small office. They tell me I'm going to get fired. This is what you've done, whatever it is. And remember at the time I just bought a house, and I was 22. Just bought a house. I had a car already. So I have a lot of responsibilities, so to speak. So they say, go and apologize. Write an email, apologize to staff about your behavior. Later,
you can't afford to lose these things. You know?
That's what society teaches us. So I went to my desk. I wrote this email. And the email basically said, you know what, to hell with you guys. You can do what you want. I stand by what I think is right. Conviction. To me, everyone was like, are you mad? What are you going to do? Once you believe in something, everything else is blur. So I've since kissed and made up with those people. I remember I had lunch with one of them and I said, by the way, I'm not sorry for what I did.
How did they feel about you just
then?
And now?
It was a very painful experience for me as well. But I realized it's the right thing. I learned to do the right thing early in my life. Do the right thing. You're not perfect. Maybe you'll discover you are wrong. But give me the same opportunity today, I'll do exactly the same thing. We have all these trappings as black people. Oh, I've got a bond, or I've got this, or I've got that. I can't afford to rock the boat.
Yeah.
But nothing changes. I would like to believe that what I did change things, made people to question. My other colleague, Tandu Jika, he likes to laugh at what I did. He's like, you are such an idiot, young boy. But what you did made me think differently. That if this Dinano of mine can do this, you know what I mean? But it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. I don't recommend it to everyone. You must first be convicted to something, not in your emotions. Because sometimes you're like, my boss is mean, therefore I'm leaving. No, it's not that reason to leave. Be convicted in something. So I am so convinced about my future and my destiny. There is nothing anyone can do to cancel it.
You left that.
Yes.
Young man.
Got fired.
To pay. What was your next step? Did you have a plan? And I'm asking you this on purpose.
Yeah.
I remember I told you about something I wanted to do in 2013.
Sure.
And you said, what's your plan? What was your plan?
When you've got a vision, you must support your vision with a plan.
Okay.
It always helps. I had been quietly working up on a plan to work on radio.
Okay.
First of all, I did radio for 2-3 years for free. I remember my first job on radio before you guys gave me a job. I was asked, I pitched up at Link FM, and they had, as I want a job here. They are like, the only thing available here is a Formula 1 presenter, and I had never watched Formula 1. They said, have you ever seen Formula 1? I said, of course, yeah. I said, on Monday, you're coming in, young man. This was a Thursday. I did not sleep. I was at the lab every day.
That was during the domination of Schumacher, ne?
Yes. Yes, Montoya and all these guys. I didn't sleep, man. So when guys have an excuse of, I can't do this because I don't know it, I'm like, hey, when you haven't been desperate. Not necessarily desperate to achieve something.
Okay.
So I obviously get fired. I go to the dispatch. What happened is that there was a company called Touchline, owned by a guy called Rob Moore.
Okay.
And the guy was also there was Richard Maguire. And for some time, they had wanted me to go to Kickoff, to Touchline rather.
Okay.
And for me, no. And I was already winning awards there. No, not the right time. So the day after I got fired, literally I was at the gym and Richard calls me. He's like, I had a chat with your boss. I believe you fired.
Yes, opportunity for us to get
so I said, yeah, Richard, I'm fired, So what are you going to do? I said, yeah, I've got this that I want to do, but I really need time to think about things. He says, well, if you want to come, let me know. Cool. So I can't necessarily say my situation isn't bad because I had few options and I could freelance for other people as well. Few months later, it happened that Richard Maguire was having lunch with some guy and a lady, Dile Fisher from FIFA. And these people started talking to him about, we need this kind of person to come and join FIFA. We need a certain profile of a person.
Okay.
And Richard Maguire mentions my name to them. Mind you, I'd only met Richard Maguire in person once. Several phone calls with him. And this guy knew everyone. Him and Rob Moore knew everyone in South African sport.
The same Richard Maguire had just turned down.
Not once. A few times. And Rob Moore, Richard Maguire, without telling me, said, go and try this boy. And out of nowhere, I'd never dreamt of working for FIFA. I had never thought about it. I got a call from Europe. Do you want to work for FIFA? Do you want to send us a FIFA? I remember that day very clearly. I just got off the plane at the then Johannesburg airport, and I was walking towards East London. You got off the bus and walking towards inside the airport, and my phone rang. A number I'd never seen before. I'd never received a phone call from Europe before that. And they said, do you have a CV? I said, I actually don't have a CV. So they said, please write a CV and send it to us today. So I was late for whatever I was coming to Joburg to do for SABC at the time. So I went inside the coffee shop, typed my CV, sent it to Europe. Following week on Monday, I got a call and an email from them. Do you want to come to Europe for a talk? What? True story. I said, I said, when?
And by this time, you already know what's happening. You know that Richard had spoken to...
No idea. Richard hasn't said nothing. I'm still thinking this is a prank. The whole weekend, the whole thing didn't register to me. Because the person had sent me an email after the phone call. And I replied with an email with a CV. And there was an email back. So I can see the email is a FIFA email, but it's not, And then they said to me, look, we'll send you a few things. Within a few days, I was there with them. Same day, I got the job.
Emotions going through your mind, your soul. Who do you tell first?
This was beyond my wildest dreams.
I can imagine.
I'd never dreamed of this.
Who do you tell first?
Velile. Velile. Macarena. Few people, in our age group, Tina, we don't understand the value of competing and cooperating. Me and that Oku used to compete. We were like rivals. We were collaborating in our early, before we even turned 20, me and him. And we grew up with this. So when I told him about the FIFA thing, you know Velile. Yes, boy.
And it's just like you, very driven, very ambitious. He also got into journalism at a very young age.
Yes, he doesn't sleep. That fellow. So yes, boy. So I was lukewarm about it because I didn't think, as confident as I am, my confidence had limits, you know. This was a different story. Because I didn't know a single soul who had ever worked at FIFA in my life. I'd never, like I've seen Sepp Blatter from a distance and everyone else. No, these guys, Chineke.
You are there. And all this time I thought you were part of the LOC.
No, hi Baba.
So you got to FIFA even before the World Cup?
Yes, directly.
What year was this?
This is 2007.
2007.
Yeah.
And then from there, what happened?
So I remember the first time Sturo Pasia, who I regard as one of the greatest guys to come from the Eastern Cape in football. He saw me wearing a FIFA jacket during the Confed Cup draw in 2008, I think. He nearly fell off his chair. Because not everyone wears it.
Yeah.
I was probably the first black guy below the age of 50 to wear it.
I want to ask you something controversial, but it's fine. Let's not go there.
Well, yeah. If I don't want to answer it, I will tell you.
Went from FIFA.
Yes.
The World Cup.
The World Cup happens. Great. Amazing. I never enjoyed the World Cup because I was so fixated on. I was so worried every day. Oh, Lord, they mustn't have this. Oh, man. You know what I mean?
Bomb
World Cup
scares,
finish. Yeah.
Earthquakes.
You don't realize it. Every day you are stressed. And FIFA keeps me for the World Cup. Then the PSL happens. I never thought of really being in the PSL. And then I had Dr. Ivan Khoza speak at the Brand Africa conference. I was like, I have not, since Thabo Mbeki, I've not had someone speak like this about my continent.
Okay.
And the vision, and the plan, and the clarity of this guy. You know when you listen to somebody and they've got clarity of thoughts.
Yeah.
It's like what Justice Dikgang Masenege describes about Robert Sobukwe. He says the first time he had a man speak with so much clarity about the struggle was Sobukwe. Simple but clear. So a year or so later, I was at the PSL to pursue an African dream. Because one of the things that used to bug me at FIFA was that these guys seem to have everything under control. But my continent is a mess. What needs to be done there?
Would you say it was a bit neglected?
I think as Africans, we lack the discipline and the organizational discipline to be organized. And just the simple things. The Europeans are not smarter than us. But the discipline they have.
And I would think that this was the first time you were involved with sports administration, because you were a sports journalist.
Yeah, until I got fired.
Okay. But was this your first experience of sports administration?
Yes, this was my first. No, but before that, you know, when I was 13 years old, so I had this football club that I was playing for. Obviously, I wasn't good enough to play football. I do suspect this, but I played. So what happened is that the guy was, I was playing with guys who were like 19 years old. I was 13, and these guys were 19, 20, 21. So this other day, the guy says to me, because I could write a lot, so he says to me, come with me to the committee meeting. And for the first time, I went to this committee meeting, and then I became a member of this committee meeting, almost a secretary of this league's meeting. And I'm 13 years old. So this was my first introduction. And then what happened is that a few months later, the guy who sat in that committee was also the chairperson of the sport committee in my school, the big boy in matric. And now I'm at grade 10. So he says to me, you'll be my deputy. I was never elected. Everyone else, these were elections. There were elections at school for all these positions. So he says to me, I know there's a deputy, but you're my second deputy. So for a full year, I became a second deputy without being elected.
What you're telling me is that your first involvement in sports administration was through Shika But
my whole life has been incidents of unmerited favor. So the right place, sometimes right time, meeting the right person.
You know, believers in God usually use that term, unmerited favor.
No. It's got nothing to do with that. I told you earlier on. Of course, you know, whatever gods you believe in, I often think that my life has been a series of unmerited favor sometimes, some of the opportunities. Unmerited in the sense that sometimes I did nothing to deserve what I got. I mean, pure accident, someone drags me to a meeting. Pure accident, someone is in that meeting who is the boss at school. He sees me, he says, I like this slighty. Let me groom him. You did nothing. You probably just impressed at the meeting. There was, I don't know what I said in that meeting, in those few meetings. And then the next elections, you are almost set up. It's for you to lose. You have a clear advantage because he's at matric, he's out. And the next year they need a new person, a new president.
Okay.
And I remember that the following year, there were elections, but no elections because I was uncontested in the post. But had that not happened, I probably wouldn't have won the elections. I would have probably not even contested the elections. And then it goes on. Me being at the dispatch, pure accident sometimes it happened. Me at FIFA, pure accident. Me in radio, pure accident, meeting Velile, becoming friends with him in Mbuli. Me at the PSL, meeting the chairman and Altaf Kazi, pure accident.
The lessons that you've learned from your early sports administration life as a high school learner that you might have implemented now?
I think more importantly, I just learned how to kwenza umsebenzi diligently. I learned passion, work ethic, fanaticism. Man, I'm the most fanatic person you ever meet about work ethic. You know what Will Smith always says? If you're more talented than me, I'm going to outlast you on the treadmill. That's my attitude. I've met people, I used to then, and I still meet a lot of people who are smarter than me, more talented than me. But man, I just know that if they're going to sleep at 10 p.m., I'm sleeping at 1 a.m. So my early days then, because at the time I was responsible for logs, for sending out communication to all the teams as a kid. So you learn to be organized as well. And you learn to deal with people, relationships. I think I'm lucky now because I've entered football. I entered football at a very interesting phase whereby the pioneers of this game, Dr. Ivan Koza, Kaiser Mutawung, Jomo Sono, all these people I grew up admiring are my bosses. My goodness me, I'm lucky. Now, in first-hand experience, I can't say, I think this is what you would have thought. I know what he thought. Because around the meeting, I will get this knowledge. So I am extremely privileged to be living and breathing in this era and to be young in this era.
You mentioned a lot of powerful, influential football people.
Yeah.
If we go through your phone, which contact do you think would be shocked to see on your phone? And Maziba, even when I call them at like 1 a.m. in the morning, X or A wouldn't mind picking up my call.
I wouldn't call anyone at that time except there is a crisis.
Okay.
I don't want anyone calling me at that time, even if there is a crisis. I've been very privileged in my life that I've met probably all the football officials you see on television. I've met and have interaction with them. From President Blatter, Jerome Falk, to KEF, to South Africa, Dr. Oliphant, Dr. Koza, Dr. Jordan. All these people I've had a privilege of knowing and them reciprocally knowing me. But that's not important.
Okay.
I don't even have a picture with these people, by the way. One of the saddest things
in this age of Instagram and selfies.
I'm telling you.
What's wrong with you, man?
I worked for President Blatter for a few years, never had a picture with him. I've worked now for Dr. Ivan Koza, for maybe 6 years. I don't have one picture with him. All the pictures I see are people taking pictures of me walking somewhere with him. I've never asked him because I was taught that this thing is not about you to profile yourself and make yourself relevant. Hey, chairman, let's take a picture and all those other things. I don't do that. So I think in a way, I don't know what I will tell my children if I don't have these pictures. They won't believe me.
They won't believe. You're in the age of selfies, man.
They won't believe me.
So I challenge you to take photos from now on.
But it's not about me, remember.
Okay.
I have a bigger picture of where we need to get. We need to focus. We need to be single-minded, Venadini, to a point whereby everything else, periphery, is a distraction.
Legacy, often we share myself. I mean, I was talking to you the other day and you were saying you don't think you're going to live to an old age. Why would you think like that?
I have no death wish. Longevity, as brother Martin Luther King would say, longevity we all want. But Steve Jobs put it better. He says, live your day, every day, as if it's your last day, because one day you'll be right.
Because it will be your last
and
day.
Remembering that you're going to die is the best way of reminding you that you have nothing to lose, that you are already naked.
We posted a message on Facebook telling people that we're going to have an interview with Luxolo September. And some guys responded and threw some questions. I mean, some of them you know them. Uloyuso Mbalanchane or Funda Nai.
No. My junior. Levels and players.
There's so many questions to ask. And we are
he always asks me questions. By the way, he should not post anything here.
So should we just
he
put
should
it
be like,
to the side?
Every time he's like, Etalax, you know,
let's put it to the
you
side.
Can always,
nah, he asked Ushabaga, I don't know. Did I get say because you know you've been in this.
No, but that's like a question.
Privilege.
Yeah. You know, there's a friend of mine who likes to say to me, one day if you study Kolo Ambagun.
Yeah.
I think I just understand the basic principles of Bomba Zindonina. Work like a slave. And you will fail sometimes, and I've failed many times. And in appetite and cool you fail like him now. You know, I'm so daring get Delel. And I understand in you will fail sometimes. But man, I'm so convicted to a belief. I am so stubborn about my dreams. I'm sure at some stage I'm going to hit a low. But nothing is going to convince me that my destiny in any way cannot be achieved.
Headstrong. Very nice. Another
and it's true.
Boy.
I'm not just saying this because it's in front of a camera. Ask people who you've met me like
I know
15 years ago or even longer than that, 17 I think.
Velile Bukula.
Another guy. I'm tired of these guys.
Sorry, man. You're a sports personality of the year. Sorry.
I like,
not like you're a model.
I like the fact that they ask me so many questions because one of the things Tinesing and Nazongo is sometimes older brothers to be like, brah, into Tile. So I like these guys sometimes, you know? Yeah.
I want to ask my homeboy this question. As a sport personality, by the way, Sport Industry Personality of the Year 2018.
Hi, my goodness me. I don't know how I got that, by the way.
So he asked,
people.
He asked, as a sport personality, are there any initiatives, you personally as Luxolo, that you're involved with in terms of sport development, specifically Etsomo na Sengamako?
Yeah, you know, I said earlier, too much is given, much is expected. Ne? For the longest period of time, I've understood my role, not only in my community, but I told you I don't belong to anyone. So people mustn't box me to say it wasn't down and therefore I belong to everybody. And I've done a lot for football there. There's still more to be done. in the next month, I have a schools tournament whereby 36 schools are participating. We are giving opportunities to kids, not in just Instagram and tweeting the activism. Put your money there. Be there on the ground. If you don't have money, put your time there. We're just chilling around the location. But there's so much that needs to be done about these skills that they can serve the community.
There's another question from Una Titani, too short.
Too short, my friend.
He asks, any plans of buying an NFD team for the Eastern Cape football fans?
I'm not mad. Panyaza is my good friend, so I hope he doesn't mind. Okay. No, I'm not mad enough. I would not own a football club. It's a most thankless job. Thankless job. You spend your money there, your time there, and every day people abuse you. Every day. You see, the club owners, as I said, is only clubs in the NFD and the Premier Division, in the PS, in the Premier Division, that's a Premiership. Every day I feel sorry for them because they spend their family money there. I look at a guy like Usturu Pasia. Usturu would be wealthy today. The guy used to own pushbacks, yes. But he used to spend all his money in this thing. And every day people abused him. I listen on radio every day. People abusing all these guys. And some of them, because I listen to their pain, about the challenges they have. And I'm like, I'm not. The grand. In any case, I understand what my calling is in life.
In closing, two things. What legacy do you want to leave? Briefly, be very brief.
Sure. And
a message to someone who looks up to Luxolo.
Sure. The legacy, first of all, I think let's give that time. We have to change Africa. We have to leave this continent a better place. We have to give confidence to people. We've got to lead this continent towards something. Now, the best amongst us must lead us. And if I'm not that best personally, I will support whoever is the best to lead us to where we need to be as an African continent and as a people.
A person who looks up to you, Tetanaipa, in that camera and that lens.
I think people should not necessarily look up to me. They can learn some of my lessons. But you've got to find your own truth. You've got to find yourself. And for that, I wish you good luck.
I'm going to throw 3 terms or a word, and I want to hear your take or your view on them. The concept of the Rainbow Nation.
Good idea, but it is just an idea.
Okay. What is your take on God?
It's a personal thing. You must follow what Madiba told us.
What did Madiba say?
It's a personal relationship. It's a personal thing.
If you had the opportunity to have dinner, a drink with God, coffee with God.
Why us? Why always us as black people? Why are we at the bottom? Why we've been enslaved for 300 years? Why is it that we worship you the most, but we are seemingly everywhere at the bottom of this chain? Why us? Why only us? Did you forget our continent? What's wrong with our mind?
Do you talk to him? Do you ask him these questions?
100%. I have asked these questions.
And?
I'm waiting. But I'm not just waiting. Every day I'm searching. God has given me and every one of us the mind. It's the most powerful thing. The mind controls everything. We use the mind to find the truth, search the truth.
Coffee.
Was it bad?
What's your take on coffee? It was decent enough.
Good distraction.
You know what I call it?
What?
liquid tobacco.
We all need habits in life, bad ones.
It's been good, my friend. You are an inspiration, and keep being that inspiration.
But wait, you haven't seen anything yet. Come do this again in the next 15 years.
Mm-hmm. Are you writing a book on
Not
this
yet.
journey?
Not yet.
What are you waiting for?
Because I haven't done anything yet. Nothing yet.